Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Tech Hefe. So Windows XP was good, Windows Vista bad, Windows 7 good, Windows 8 was bad. I don't know what they were thinking with that start menu and all those live tiles, but Windows 10 was great. It reminded me more of Windows 7, and which it gave it more of a modern look to it. But now they're changing Windows 10 a little bit and calling it Windows 11. So this could be the chance to break the good and bad cycle, but let's get into this video and see if it's really gonna break the cycle or not. So one of the new features I think a lot of people like is they're adding Android apps to the Microsoft Store. And so these Android apps, they're going to be powered by the Amazon App Store. So you have to have an Amazon account in order to download these still. You can find these apps in the Microsoft App Store. You just have to sign into your Amazon account. So as of right now, the Android apps aren't supported yet in Windows 11, but they're at least working on it. With Windows 11, they're giving us widgets now. To access the widgets, you have to click on the Widgets button, which is actually found on the right of the Start button. When you click on it, you can view the weather, stocks, sports, and the good old news. But you can't seem to be able to personalize it outside of the Microsoft services. The only way to manage your preferences is to go to MSN. So I don't think I'll find the widgets very useful unless they allow third-party widgets eventually. So hopefully they're working on that. But if you multitask a lot and use a lot of windows open at the same time, you might find this feature very useful. Microsoft added something called Snap Layouts. It allows you to create window layouts like they did in Windows 7, but even easier. You just have to hover over the Maximize button and it'll give you 4 or more different ways to lay out your windows. Now when you have your laptop connected to an external display, it will save these windows thanks to the Snap Groups feature. So no more having to put your windows back to the way you had them when you plug back in your external display. Now, the taskbar also got a redesign. Now by default, all of your items on the taskbar are in the center. But if you're like me and not a big fan of this being in the middle of your Windows taskbar, you can quickly change in the settings, but you can't move it to the right or the left of your desktop. So you right and left taskbar users, looks like you're unfortunately stuck down at the bottom with the taskbar. Right clicking on the taskbar doesn't give you the same options as it used to. Search now has a dedicated bar on the start menu. The space dedicated for pin recommended apps still hasn't changed. They got rid of live tiles, which should make paying apps easier. And if you don't like the Windows 11 start menu, there's always some third-party applications to replace this for you. So no worries on that. The All Apps button on the top right of your start menu gives you all of your apps in alphabetical order. Microsoft claims that they'll be doing away with the Windows folders in the final release, but in the beta version, which I currently have, they're still there. It might be nice to see these gone and clean up your start menu a little bit. Speaking of cleaning up, they cleaned up the Action Center a little bit. When you click on the clock on your taskbar, it will give you a calendar and stacked cards of your notifications. All of the toggles that were in the notification center for Windows 10 are now in its own separate place. It is now located as the network and audio icons on the system tray, which they have now called the taskbar corner. They act as cards, so when you click on it, it'll give you the options. You can choose what quick settings you want on your taskbar corner, like if you want to add the cast option or the keyboard layout, and others if you're into those kind of things. Right clicking anywhere on the OS gives you a nice clean glassy context menu. At first, it won't show you all of the same options like they did in Windows 10. You have to go to the Show More Options part to get the regular context menu you would see when you first right click on Windows 10. Now the Windows in Windows 11, they now have rounded edges, even apps that haven't been designed for Windows 11 yet, and let me tell you, it looks a lot cleaner. Now, their settings got a huge redesign, which you might not have to go to the good old control panel as much as you used to, which is nice. The system overview has got a redesign, which definitely gives it a cleaner look, and honestly, it might be more useful. At the top right, it shows you your Microsoft 365, OneDrive, and Windows updates. You can restrict app access to download folders and other existing controls for things like pictures and documents. Toggles to enable and disable network adapters have been added to the advanced network settings that you would see in your Windows settings pane. You can also get all of your relevant status information here too. It will still open the old network connections window in the control panel if you need to make any changes to adapters themselves though. The display also got a huge redesign too. Multiple displays are now hidden behind a menu rather than having its display arrangement panel right front and center. Scale and resolution are higher up in the list than most items. HDR has their own section now. The menu didn't really change much, but it includes the auto HDR setting. In the advanced display settings, they have added lines about peak brightness of your display and HDR certification. Now the setting change I'm about to mention is honestly quite annoying in my opinion. Microsoft made changing your defaults a little bit harder now. You have to change the app for every link and file type. So I guess this is Microsoft's way of making us switch to Edge, but honestly, I'm going to stick with the good old Chrome and Firefox, and I assume most of you guys are going to too. But let's say you've watched this video, you've watched some other videos, and you decided you're ready to download Windows 11. Well, there's some minimum requirements you're going to have to make. Your CPU needs to have 2 cores at 1 GHz, a 64-bit architecture. Also, the CPU has to be Intel 8th Gen or Ryzen 2000 series or higher. 4 GB of RAM, 64 GB of storage, a motherboard capable of secure boot, TPM 2.0, which if you don't have it, you can buy a module for around $15 to $20 US. The GPU needs to be DirectX 12 capable with WDDM 2.0 drivers. So if you have Windows 10, this update will be free to you guys, just like Windows 10 was for Windows 7 and 8 users. Now let's say you're debating if you want to switch to Windows 11 or thinking about switching to a different OS like Linux or Mac OS. Well, you still got plenty of time because Windows 10 won't be outdated until October 2025. Well, I hope you guys found this video useful. If you guys have any comments or questions about Windows 11, please comment them down below. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. Get subscribed down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.